ladies and gentlemen. It's Charlie with Outskirts Overland. It's Friday the 9th. It is Military Spouse Appreciation Day today. So, if you guys know any spouses, or I would even say kids of any military members, like any kind of falls within the same lines, make sure you say something to them. They probably appreciate it. Heck, they might not know it's even their day. So, hopefully the audio's better. I got my new mic. Those of you that are watching can see it's a whole different ball game, and hopefully it's better. Hoping it's got them. Yeah, hopefully it's better. So I guess I'll know in a little bit. But yeah, today I'm going camping. It looks like it's gonna be a. I mean, it appears to be a nice day right now. So I'm hoping that continues. That would be amazing. You know, but I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't even know where we're going really. Like, I mean, I guess I know generally. I think I said. Well, I said this in the live podcast. I was on Newfound Overland, but that's how I do it so much. You know, my girlfriend's like, "Where are we going?" And I'm like, I don't know, south. I do that all the time. But I've looked at the map. I've got some stuff. I've got some options in my head, but I haven't. I mean, I don't know. When you're looking for free camping, on a Friday when it's nice and it rained all last weekend, I just don't bank so heavily on. I just don't bank super heavily on whatever I gotta kind of be a little more fluid than that. What I want might not be available. And I am leaving after work, and I don't want to be getting to camp at freaking midnight. So let's see what we do. I don't really know. I've got a couple thoughts in my head. I just don't know yet. I haven't even grocery shopped. I got to get groceries. But that just goes back to like my truck is packed. I mean, like nothing. I got to throw a couple pairs of socks and underwear in a bag. Bag's packed. Just like I've said before to you guys, like I always have my stuff ready. I have, excuse me, guys, I have specific stuff for camping, so that's not a big deal at all. This will be the first. I do have a drone. I'm going to school to be a drone, like a Part 7 pilot, drone, what is it? Unmanned aerial systems. That's what it's called. Unmanned aerial systems. I'm going to college at freaking almost 40, but I'm going to college for that. Of course, the course provides, tons of stuff as you learn how to do that stuff. So I've been flying the drone a bunch in the simulator, the drone simulator. I don't know. The drone simulator has like 30 something different drones you can simulate. So for me, I want to do, more social media marketing type stuff. So I have the ability to fly, DJI drones in the simulator pretty exclusively. And the drone that I have now is a DJI as well. So I'll probably take my drone. That'll be the first time I take it camping and get some shots and footage. Just like anything else, learn. I'm trying to figure out my own style when it comes to that because it's video and pictures too. So naturally, I'm going to have a style like I do now with pictures and videos from my phone or anything else. So I'm decent with the drone. I've got a ton of hours, and I mean, like I said, I'm in college for it, so there's probably some, and not to shortchange anybody else, but there's probably some things I'm learning that you wouldn't just figure out on your own. And the Part 107 is not like, I mean, you could study for it and pass it, but it's not. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, I can tell you that I'm far enough in now to know that like there's a lot to know, and I think pretty soon, maybe, maybe not. It's been a discussion in my class that before we graduate, are they going to require a practical exam? Because right now the FAA doesn't require a practical exam for your Part 107 drone license, but they might. I mean, that might come. I mean, you are a pilot. You are. I mean, airspace is a thing. It's it's a little interesting, you know. Like there's a lot that goes into it, like so much more than I thought goes into it. So, but I'm not gonna get too into drones and stuff now. I would definitely still consider myself a novice, even though I'm in school and even though I've got some considerable hours and some education. Like I am not doing house tours with a drone yet. You know, like I'm not there yet. I mean, I could do it. I'm capable. It wouldn't be anything you guys want to look at. When I can really get around specific things like that, then I'll be like, you know, I'm decent at this. But I'm definitely decent enough to get some shots on my truck and aerial photos of camp and stuff. That's anybody can do that. Um, so I'll get some of that. So I'm excited. I am kind of excited about that. So I'll take my stuff out, my computer, my drone, all this stuff, try and get it all going together, which would be sick. Um, and hopefully these new mics, when I check this audio later, are good. But excuse me. So next week, for those of you that have hung with me through that whole spiel, next week I am going to record on Newfound Overland. I don't know when that'll get posted, no idea, but I will be recording it next week for our opinionated segment. So if you guys have anything you think we should cover, um, I think that that would be cool. I mean, I have genuine content on my mind just because when we did our Q&A live podcast at More Expo, me and Benji, that was one of the questions, you know, like how do you guys, you know, essentially how do you guys handle content and like know what to say and do? Mm. My advice was like just do your content for you, and if you know the genuine, authentic nature of content tends to draw people, and even if it doesn't, if the reason you're doing content is to draw people, well then you're already in the wrong place. This is like a passion project. This is like a creative outlet. This is like an artistic thing. If you were doing it, well, I mean, even so, it still is for me. But if you're not going to be able to emulate somebody else that's been successful, and you won't be successful being someone else. It's just not authentic and it's not going to flow. So I think that's a topic I for sure want to talk about is just, you know, being genuine. Like just whatever you want to talk about. Like you guys have heard me on here talk about, I mean, anything from tariffs to gear to now drones to, I mean, just whatever, dude. Just hard, like be the you need to be the value in your own content, like not the like I always think, and this is just me, like while I'm producing content, I always think I'm the content, not the subject matter. Like I don't think you guys care a whole lot about stat sheets. You care more about what I have to say, my opinion, what I recommend, but that's all me. That's not the equipment. Like that's just basic. Like I anybody can read a stat sheet. Anybody can read, you know, info. Like I could go through tons of websites and bore you guys to death with just like measurements and stuff. But that's not gonna translate to anything. So that's why I come on here every day. I don't need content. I'll just come chat. I love this hobby enough to where I could always kind of find something to talk about. I mean, there's not I don't know. I talk to people all day about it, anyways, because there's people that are just interested. I get questions all the time about tents and tires, and trucks and cars and SUVs and mattresses and blankets and just all of it, man. I get asked questions nonstop about it. I don't mind it. I like it. I don't like that. I don't like that I'm getting asked the questions. I like it all enough to where it doesn't bother me. I don't dislike getting the questions, but getting the questions. My point is, getting the questions doesn't matter at all. It's irrelevant. I enjoy the hobby, and knowing, learning gear and hearing other people's experiences and hopefully getting people out so they can have new experiences to tell me about. That excites me. I have a lot of fun with that. That's really fun because I think, going back to, a podcast quite a while ago, like this is a huge mental health outlet for me, getting outside, getting outside in nature, unsupported by yourself. You're learning some skills. There's some critical thinking involved. It's serene. Like it's good for it's good for me mentally. It's like really good for me. And I think it could be good for everybody. So I'm always like, you just got to go. I think a lot of people are scared and want to go in groups and do this and that. But sometimes groups can be exhausting too. Larger groups, maybe one or two people can still be kind of relaxing. But anytime you've got two, the more hmm, the more opinions and the more people to cater to, the less enjoyable it becomes in my opinion. But I don't do it for a social experience either. If you do, then that's cool too. I mean, I'm still going to help you get out. I still think there's a lot to be said, heard, had regarding like how it all goes down and like how to help people do it and navigate, and learn about places to go, areas to go. I don't give locations specifically, but like because the exploration, like I feel like that's such a huge part. And it's not that I don't want people to have places to go, but I want them to explore. I want you to go find it. Like, which means I want you to go look, like, and find your own spot. Then you're pretty proud of a spot if you find it, even if it's one I already have pinned, and so do 9,000 million other people. Like, if you found it, and you don't know that, you're like, man, I found that. That's awesome. And I think that's a lot of fun too, like just going to explore and finding new spots. And because it's not like drive camps, it's not like drive straight there, camp. Like, that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. I like to kind of just drive, and sometimes if I'm not, local, I just get on iOverlander, and it's free and Rolodex of spots, and sometimes I just check one of those out. Like, I don't know, I just don't overthink it. I don't dress it up. So that's all, I guess. But I love it. So it'd be nice if I could do more of it on a professional basis, but I I don't know. My hope is a little bit that by doing getting all my drone licenses and stuff, maybe I can potentially get into a little more there for like, I don't even know, guys. I don't know how to get into this industry. I mean, I guess you could say that podcast is in this industry, but I do this completely for free without any sponsors. I mean, like, nothing's paid here. I mean, I'm sponsored by my job, like, I guess, but I also not sponsored because I work for it, I guess. So, but that's the only way I'm sponsored by me. I'd love to be in the industry and working with some companies that are passionate, that I could share my love of this with. I don't even know where to start with that. I also want to still love it too. So it'd have to be a good, like, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't want to be too corporate. I don't want to get into that rigmarole if I was to get into it. Profits need to be made and stuff, but I just believe in being a good person. Like, you just be a good, honest person and stuff falls into place the way it should, the way you want it, the way, like, I don't, I don't know. Pushing stuff just never has worked for me. Pushing stuff has only led to broken relationships and bad blood for nothing. For nothing. Just be a good person. That's always done me pretty well. So I try to do it. That's what I try to do. Be a good human. Try to. We all have days, but yeah. So, I, but yeah, guys, I'm here. I guess all I got to say today is I'm going camping. And if you guys got any questions about anything, Stefan is one of our we do like an overlander mentorship type thing, and one of mine is Stefan, and He was asking me about skid plates yesterday specifically. So he's like, "What do you think about skid plates? Do I need them all?" He has a 400. He's got the TRD skid plate. It's like, "Do I need them all, or should I start a place?" I just told him, I was like, "I have a mix of aluminum and steel." I told him the aluminum doesn't really slide on anything. I wish it would because it's lighter, but it doesn't. It kind of sticks to rocks. Rocks stick to it, whatever, however you would go about it. And I told him the TRD skid that those forerunners, it's a fifth gen forerunner. Forerunners come with pretty thin. I mean, I think it's more of a showpiece than realistic skid myself. But I still said, I'd probably start with the gas tank skid first, and I would get steel. Is what I told him, and then kind of work your way from there. You don't have to start out the gate with all the skids. I mean, skid plates are expensive. If you were to do full skids on a vehicle, depending on what full skids means to you, like control arms and everything else, maybe I don't know, but it's a couple. I mean, probably looking at a couple grand on a larger vehicle, 400 Tacoma, Gladiator, anything like that. Like they're not. I mean, in a couple $1,000s to protect all your transmission, oil pan, gas tank. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense to protect those things. I have a dent in my oil pan or my transmission oil pan, so it happens. But it is expensive, so I think. But most of us now have, you know, plastic gas tanks, so I think that's a big one. There in the rear, that's where you're probably gonna hit. Like, I think gas tank's probably a good place to start. A real good place to start. But he is just asking about it. I've got, so I figured I'd just touch on that because it was a question. It means I probably have to talk about it. So yeah, I mean, if you want to slide on stuff and you can handle the weight, steel is going to slide. If you can't handle the weight, you're in something lighter duty. Aluminum's gonna is gonna be, the route you want to look because you can't handle the weight. You still want the protection, but just be aware you're gonna get. It'll still protect the stuff. You're just gonna get hung up. You're not gonna slide off stuff. I have gouges like chunks out of my. I don't know how to explain it. Like it just gouges it. It doesn't slide on it. It doesn't just scratch on it. Like when I have a friend with steel skid plates on a forerunner, his truck just slide off stuff. Mine does not. It hangs up, so you got to be a little more familiar. I think you need to probably be a little more familiar with recovery if you've got aluminum skids because they do hang up, or familiar with like how to get unstuck. It's self recovery, I guess, but maybe more so like friend recovery. So, anyways, I'll go camping this weekend. I hope you guys get out and go camping. It's gonna be nice. If you don't get out and go camping, at least get out, sit outside, barbecue, enjoy some sunlight. It's real good for you. And I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one.